What's up, everybody? My name's Captain Flipper, and I went to the thrift store and found tons of cool items to sell online. At the end of the trip, I found some pretty high profit items, so stick around. And as always, I'll go over what everything's worth. Let's get flipping.
So here we are at the thrift store, and I'm in my favorite section, the plush section. I found this plush Build-A-Bear Frozen character. Now, Build-A-Bear isn't always worth it, but if you can find specific characters, they can sell for a good amount of money. So for only $1, I decided to pick this up. And then in the board game section, this just looked interesting, and it's called Heartthrob. I've never really heard of it before. It looks like a 90s game, and it's actually worth quite a bit. Sorry that these clips might be a little bit jumbled. You'll find me finding a few things in the plush section. They're not necessarily in order, but here I found a Dakins plush with a mama and baby bear. And Dakins typically does pretty well for me. It usually doesn't sell for like a ton of money, but I can always make some decent money, and plushes are really easy for me to ship, so that's why I really don't mind not making a huge profit on them. And here I find a Folk Manus rabbit plush. It's actually a puppet. Anytime you see Folk Manus, they're worth picking up. They make pretty high quality, realistic looking puppets. And in a different thrift store, I don't really look through records too often, but that Pinocchio definitely caught my eye. I looked it up and it actually ended up not being worth anything. But the Batman record that I'm looking at now was. It's pretty cool. This record has a comic book built into the case, and it was only 50 cents, so this was actually a great find. And then here, this mug caught my eye. It was only, yeah, not $1, and I looked it up, and it was definitely worth the purchase. Sometimes I don't really like buying mugs because you have to be careful shipping them, but I decided to go for it. And in the hat section, I found this Luigi hat. Anything game related, I just like buying. I just think they're fun to buy, and this was also a decent purchase. And speaking of games, I found this bag of toys. It was only 99 cents, and right there, there's a Pokemon character, Heracross, and there's April O'Neil. So for $1, I honestly didn't care how much these things were worth because I'm actually keeping the Heracross for myself since I like to collect Pokemon stuff, but it was pretty cool to find. Moving on, in the jacket section of a different thrift store, I found this John Deere fleece lined jacket. This had the classic John Deere look, and I know that people really like the brand, um, so I decided to pick it up. I couldn't find any exact sold listings, but it definitely seemed worth it. And here was a really cool find. I've been looking for Bachman related books. Richard Bachman is Stephen King's pen name, and they're worth a ton of money. This one's not worth as much, but for $2, it was actually a really good buy, and it was the first Bachman related book that I've found, so it was really cool. And here I found a bunch of James Bond collectible items. It seems like their 50th anniversary. Here, that was a box full of postcards, 100 of them. And this is a book talking about the onset of Skyfall. And both those things, I believe, were $8. And here is James Bond movie posters. It's a book of all the movie posters, and this was $15.
So here are all the items that I bought after a few trips at the thrift store. I'm going to start with the less valuable things and work towards the more valuable things. Starting with these plushes. So like I said with Build-A-Bear, a lot of times they're not really worth anything, but if you can find characters like anything Pokemon related, Harry Potter, here was Frozen, Anna. This I only paid $1 for, and there's sold listings online for up to $25, so pretty good. And then the Dakins, Mother Bear, Baby Bear. Again, I only paid $1 for this, and there's plenty of sold listings for $15. So not the biggest profit, but like I said, I could just throw this in a bag, slap a label on. It's really easy to ship. And then the Folk Manus plush, the puppet. I bought this for $1. Let me get my hand in there. Kind of cool, realistic-ish. Anyway, I paid $1 for this, and there are sold listings for $15. Moving on, here's this Heartthrob game. Like I said, it looks pretty 90s. And this game has sold listings for like up to $40. I even saw people selling just these boyfriend cards for like $20. I just thought it kind of looks kind of funny. There's different boyfriend cards. There's Brian. Johnny's looking pretty good. Um, but yeah, and I forget how much I paid for this. I think I paid like $2 or $3. Moving on, we have this Batman record, and like I said, inside the case, there's actually a comic book, which is pretty cool. And I paid 50 cents for this, and this has sold listings. A lot of them were brand new for like $27. So I'm gonna try to get like 22.50 out of it because there aren't that many online. I almost forgot to include this Disney mug, which I paid $1 for, and it has sold listings for around like $15. I saw a few online. And then that bag of toys I bought for $1. Like I said, there's Heracross and April O'Neil. I actually put downstairs, and I just didn't feel like digging it up. But this Heracross was worth $20. But like I said, I really like Pokemon, so I'm actually going to keep this for my own personal collection. But the April O'Neil, I think, had sold listings for $15, if I remember properly. Up next, we have all the James Bond collectibles, starting with this 100 postcards for the 50th anniversary. In here are just a bunch of postcards. I bought this for $8, and it has sold listings for up to $55. Then this one, I paid $15 for this. This is a book with all its movie posters. It's in the sleeve right now, so um, but I paid $15, and this also has sold listings for $55. And the best find of all three are is this Bond on set for Skyfall. I paid $8 for this, and there are sold listings for up to $100. I actually listed this already, and I already have two watchers, so I really think this will sell pretty soon. Then like I said, we have the Stephen King Bachman books. You see Rage right there. If you find the original Rage, that can go for thousands of dollars. Um, Richard Bachman is Stephen King's pen name, like I said earlier. And if you find anything with Bachman on it, it's usually worth something. So I paid $2 for this, and I saw sold listings for like up to $80. Now this isn't in the best condition, and I actually already listed this and it already sold for $40. So I will put my sold listing up. So this was a really great buy. And lastly, we have this John Deere jacket. Um, I saw sold listings for different John Deere jackets for like $40. This has the classic John Deere look. It's really nice, fleece lined. And I'll be honest, I think I can get more than $40 for this. So I'm gonna list this for like $60 or $70. Leave it up for a while. If no one bites, then I'll lower it. But I paid $12 for this, and I'm sure I'll make decent profit on it. One real quick thing that I forgot to say, if you watched my last video, you remember I bought that National Ski Patrol vest for like $7, and I listed it for 125 and was able to sell it for $115. I took a best offer. It sold really quick, so maybe I should have priced it higher, but still, it was a great flip. Well, that's it for this video. Before I go, I want to let you know I made an Instagram off of just cool items that I found and what I sold them for. So if you're interested, I'll link it below. And then just thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you made it this far, comment your favorite collectible. As always, I will catch you guys on the flippity flap.